Hey guys, Hope Up here. Gonna be doing a reaction to the Friendship Test MLP Fanfic reading Grimdark. This is a Lost Narrator video recommended by Cody Lane. Wonder what this is. Something about a friendship test. Okay, not sure what this Grimdark is, but let's give it a go. A 3, a 2, and a 1.
Warning. The following reading contains subject matter that some listeners might find disturbing. Listener discretion is advised.
Okay. Oh yeah, and apparently Lost Narrator likes this kind of stuff. Lost Narrator's Hollowed Horrors. I'll only make this like a half hour, and I'll finish the rest the next day.
Dead weight. That is what Twilight's limbs felt like as her mind finally stirred to consciousness. Her eyes fluttered as she tried to focus on her surroundings, allowing them to adjust to the faint light. In the cold confines of this unfamiliar place, 5 bodies stood motionless. Twilight's heart began to race. Her first instinct was to lighten the room with her magic.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Ah!
As she looks for windows, doors, anything that could help her identify the location. Instead, all she could see were stone bare walls. It was at that same moment that she spotted each of her friends. They stood frozen in a circle around the room, their eyes shut as if in a peaceful sleep. With no obvious light source, Twilight strained to make out what illuminated their bodies. When she focused hard enough, she could make out a single translucent sliver of magic that surrounded them like a ring. Her eyes darted to her own body, and she realized that she was surrounded by what seemed to be a spell. Though it was rare, this spell was unmistakable. Across the room, Fluttershy began to whimper softly, as she too came to consciousness.
Fluttershy?
Twilight asked, trying to maintain her composure.
Twilight, where are we?
Don't move, actually a good Fluttershy voice.
The spell holding us in place is dangerous. Whatever you do, don't leave the circle. Do you understand?
You're almost dead! Just give it a few more tries!
Fluttershy merely nodded in response.
At least she's smart enough to understand it.
What's going on, Twi? Applejack asked. Twilight and Fluttershy turned to see their friend with her hoof raised. She hesitated to take a step after she heard Twilight's warning.
It's old magic. Something that was once used to contain dangerous things. Or dangerous ponies.
Wait! I made a mistake! We have one left!
Boo! More lasers!
Anything that leaves the rim of this circle will be met with a shock. A tip of the hoof can send a wave of electrical current through the body.
Really?
Anything more than that can be deadly.
Twilight explained, her expression grave. Ugh, that doesn't make a lick of sense, Twi. Who in Equestria would do such a thing?
Listen, Celestia, we have the elements of harmony captive. We will not hesitate to destroy them.
Well, I guess we have no choice. Now give us Twilight back. And also whoever the other ones are.
Applejack asked angrily.
Ugh, what's going on? Applejack? Is that you?
Rarity called out groggily.
Hey!
Yeah, they're definitely stuck.
What's going on?
Rainbow Dash interjected.
My head feels swimmy, no good, yucky.
Pinkie
Pie.
Don't move! Keep your hooves inside the ring until I can
She does a
figure
good
out how to
Pinkie
get
Pie
us out of
voice.
here.
Very good, Twilight. I knew I could count on you to keep every
Is
pony
this
safe
Starlight?
for our little test.
Twilight's ears perked up at the seventh voice in the room. Her head snapped to the source of the sound. She tried
Oh, this
to
is an
focus
old
her
comic
eyes
then.
on it. Twilight knew that voice.
Starlight? What's
Yep.
going on? And how did we get here?
Twilight asked cautiously. Starlight Glimmer slowly stepped out from a dark corner and used her magic to ignite the torches resting on each wall. Her face was blank of any emotion.
A short time ago,
Yeah, and
I
yet she's
had a
smiling.
thought. You see, my magic seems to be just as powerful as yours, which is quite impressive given the fact that I am still a unicorn.
Why is that all
That got me
bloody?
thinking, is the so-called magic of friendship really all it's cracked up to be?
She asked, positioning herself in the middle of the circle of friends.
What are you talking about? Just let us out of here!
Rainbow Dash insisted, ruffling her wings and suppressing the urge to take off in flight.
Or attack
All in
her.
good time, Rainbow, all in good time. Now, where was I? Ah, yes. Twilight, I am a grown mare with enough magic to con an entire village out of their cutie marks, alter a time travel spell, assist in the reconstruction of the Crystal Heart, brainwash you all without breaking a sweat, and take on the entire Changeling Hive. Does that sound like some pony who still needs lessons
Interesting.
in the magic of friendship?
What are you saying?
I'm saying that I realize that I don't need your friendship, and I certainly don't need the second-rate magic that I gave to all of you.
She needs to get laid big time.
Still, you six are impressive. You've saved Equestria enough times to warrant some attention. I merely want to test
Yeah.
your magic against my own. I want to see what happens when the 6 spirits of harmony are forced to face the traits that they embody. Maybe then we will know what true power friendship has in Equestria.
What?
You
Did
don't
they
know
already
what
do
you're
that?
saying, Starlight. You've seen firsthand how powerful friendship can be. I thought you embraced it and understood where you went wrong.
I did try. I did everything you stupid little ponies said would bring my life fulfillment, but you can't erase a lifetime of emptiness and disappointment.
I have my own fan
Your petty
fic
friendship
for her
tests
where
can't be assigned to me like school-filly homework.
Sunburst
And
would...
even after I proved myself,
He wouldn't really
I
die, he'd
still
just make a
wasn't given
sacrifice
a throne in your castle or a real place in
He'd basically
Ponyville.
be like
It's all
unconscious or
because of
something,
my
but...
past. You still can't
Well,
trust
Crystal
me,
Empire
can
would...
you?
Or,
If you ponies had seen what I tried to do,
like,
in
yeah,
the
when I see
past,
that, she would
you
finally
would have
snap
sent
and
me
all
to
that.
Tartarus. Had Twilight
I'm not
not
good
stopped
at
you.
stories.
Friendship
That's
is
why I
a
don't talk
lie.
much.
It's a, you have to, don't, what did he say? It's a, you have to, don't,
Starlight screamed, the vengeance seeping from her last word. She cleared her throat and replaced her tears with the mask of unfeeling, pretending the lapse of emotion hadn't happened.
That's not true. I have lots of friends, and I never leave them feeling icky, lonely feelings.
Pinky
I didn't hear a
interjected.
single word they said, so...
There's really no point in reasoning with me. The test has already begun. You see, your heroism has always been based on your ability to embrace generosity, kindness, laughter, loyalty, honesty, and magic.
Okay.
But what if you were given a situation where those exact traits could harm rather than help you?
That is a bitch, you see.
You've gone mad.
Rarity exclaimed.
As Twilight kindly explained, the rings around each of you are quite deadly. This spell certainly was a difficult one to dig up, but the Princess of Friendship wouldn't dream of having an incomplete library at her disposal. So it was only a matter of time till I found what I needed. There's really no use in trying to use your own magic, Twilight
being
Rarity.
a bookworm
I've
isn't
already
always a
disabled
good
it before
idea.
You were brought here. The spell they used at the Equestria Games was very helpful with that. Now, there will be 6 tests conducted, each based on
Oh,
those
boy.
6 harmony traits. When the tests are over, you can go free and punish me however you see fit, proving that once and for all...
Yeah, I have a
magic
feeling you're
does
planning
possess
on
my
letting
own.
them
If,
suffer greatly.
However, you can't or won't perform, I doubt you will be leaving this room alive.
Ew.
Starlight held her chin high, her eyes gazing down upon Twilight.
Yep, she's mad.
Alive? What do you mean alive?
You're being let go. That your life's going in a different direction. That your body's part of a permanent outplacement.
Fluttershy quivered.
Well, it's not a very good test of extreme situations if the stakes aren't high enough. But let's not waste any more time with questions. I'm sure you're all just as eager as I am to begin.
Starlight's horn lit up and dragged a strange device from another corner of the room into the center with her. It appeared to be a large dissected metal egg, resting atop a tray of firewood. Inside the egg were coals and a long metal poker. Starlight's eyes remained locked on Twilight's, as her magic engulfed the wood into a fiery blaze. The girls all stared in wonder and terror, as the metal began to turn bright sun red. Twilight's eyes widened as she understood what the actual metal poker was. Starlight took the branding iron from out of the
she's gonna
egg
hit their butt.
and gingerly twirled it around the mares who stood before her.
This first test is a test of kindness. Each of you will be given a choice. You can either be kind to your neighbor and elect to have the branding iron used on yourself, or you can abandon your kindness and brand the pony to your right instead.
Brandon? Brandon what? Applejack demanded, stamping her hoof angrily.
You don't want to ask.
Flank, of course.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a callback to my life before you ponies ruined everything.
That's dark.
Not to mention it will satisfy my urge for vengeance to see a scorched and permanent equal sign
What if they say no?
scarred over your
That they don't want to do any of it.
cutie marks.
Starlight's tone
Or would
slipped
she
from
just burn them?
calculating to scorn, as she betrayed her emotions she was working to suppress.
I refuse to take your stupid test!
Yeah.
I won't let you hurt me or my friends!
You're in no position.
But that's the best part. You see, you'll only have 30 seconds to make your choice. And if a choice is not made, or you decide to get bold and try to escape, one of your friends will be killed at random by the circles containing you now.
Dick!
You didn't think I would make this easy, did you?
That's just dark.
Let's start with the elements of kindness herself. Fluttershy.
Hold them kids! I'm coming to rescue the lot of you! Ow! Ugh, I'm bad at this.
Starlight narrowed her eyes on her prey.
Oh, come on,
pointing
not
a branding
her.
iron at her first test subject.
Oh, because it's
she
test of
placed the
kindness.
iron back in the egg to heat, as she released her magical grip on Fluttershy.
Ooh.
This left the frightened Pegasus free to move about.
Fluttershy, would you rather I brand one side of your flank, or will you brand one of Pinky's? You have 30 seconds.
Starlight grinned
That is dark.
as her horn lit up a large
Alright, tough
illuminated
to-
countdown that hovered over Fluttershy's head. Fluttershy stood motionless in shocked silence, her whimpers getting caught in her throat.
That would be a
Friends
tough
shouted
choice to
words
make.
of encouragement and advice. Their voices were a muffled buzz of unintelligible noises
I
in
would
her
take one
head.
for the team.
Alright, this is only gonna hurt for about 3 weeks. What the hell?
That there's my steer.
Her thoughts focused on the betrayal of Starlight's trust in the little village she had helped to free. Had Starlight singled her out because of what she had done? She looked at the branding iron as tears began to cascade down her soft yellow cheeks.
Fluttershy? Fluttershy, just do it. It's okay. I'll let you brand my cutie mark. I can't. You have to, Fluttershy. Time's running out.
Would that mean they'd lose their magic forever?
I understand. I forgive you.
Pinky's voice quivered as tears filled her eyes. A smirk spread on Starlight Glimmer's face.
You
She said
bitch.
nothing, but levitated a parchment in front of her to jot down the test effects on its subjects.
Your time is up, Fluttershy. What will it be?
Oh.
Starlight said,
crap.
pulling the branding iron from the hot coals.
I'll brand Pinky.
Fluttershy whispered in defeat, hanging her head. Starlight levitated the branding iron to Fluttershy, who shakily grasped the handle. Soon after, Pinky's circle
hit Starlight, hit
disappeared,
Starlight
and she
with it.
stared into Fluttershy's frightened eyes.
Just get it over with, Fluttershy.
Pinky stammered, unsure of what to expect, but fearing the worst. She shut her eyes.
Pinky, I'm so sorry.
You're just gonna make it
Now,
worse if you don't
Fluttershy.
see.
Are you happy?
I've never been...
You have to press into the flank hard and hold it there for 5 seconds.
You
if you fail to do
dick.
so, I will brand you and Pinky myself, and I will not be gentle.
Call her a bitch.
Until I'm hoarse with rage!
Maybe smack her ass with a riding crop and watch her go to town on herself?
Yes, and it... What?
No, I mean, that would, like... That would show her.
What the hell does the second part have to do with that? Are you... You're getting some kind of sick sexual thrill off this, aren't you?
Who cares?
Starlight cautioned.
I hope some creature stops her.
Fluttershy could only cry harder in response, and Pinky's mane deflated. Their friends continued to scream in protest, but no pony could hinder the inevitable.
Damn.
3, 4.
Wow, you count slow compared to me.
Fluttershy cried out in anguish as she pressed the branding iron into Pinky's flank, almost matching the scream of pain from Pinky in response. Both ponies' eyes were shut as Starlight counted each agonizing second out loud. When the time was up, Fluttershy dropped the iron and fell to the ground.
You're going to hell.
To the boiler room of hell, all the way down. Sometimes I pull them out just so they think everything is going to be okay, but then I put them right back in.
Good. Good. That makes me happy.
Tears. Pinky's legs gave out and she too fell onto the unforgiving stone floor, gasping for air between each sob.
Very good, Fluttershy. Now let's give Pinky a moment to gather her wits, and then she'll make the choice.
Oh, come on!
Back to your circle, please.
Starlight said in a mocking
great, she's gonna have all of them branded.
The iron back into the metal egg. Fluttershy crawled to her position in the circle and curled into herself, facing away from her friends in shame.
I'm feeling it's just gonna be a single trend. They're all gonna cry, and they're all gonna get branded
then
nonetheless.
Turned her attention to Pinkie Pie.
Now, Pinkie Pie, would you rather brand Rarity or have me brand your other flank?
Starlight asked as she methodically placed the
That's what I
branding
thought.
iron within
Everyone's gonna
reach.
choose. Everyone's gonna get branded.
Pinkie could barely speak, but the timer appeared above her head regardless. She shakily pulled herself off the ground, grasped the branding iron, and shot Rarity a terrified glance.
Oh, Pinky? I choose Rarity.
Pinkie said, dropping her gaze.
Pinky, please, no. Pinky, I beg you. I'm sorry, Rarity. I don't want to lose them both.
Pinkie stuttered, shooting a glance at her unbranded flank.
Interesting.
Starlight noted coldly, jotting down more notes. As Starlight released her magical hold on Rarity,
she's afraid she'll lose her magic altogether if she loses the other one.
Remember, Rarity, if you attempt to leave, one of your friends will pay with their life.
You're a
Oh! Oh, yes! Oh, hang on a second.
Rarity shouted moments before Pinkie pushed the iron into her fur. Rarity screamed and stumbled.
Oh, I thought Rarity touched
but Pinkie held the iron in place.
Circle thing that shocked her.
Required seconds. When it was over, she shuffled back to her spot and continued crying in silence. Rarity gingerly brushed the singed fur from her flank as she gasped for breath.
Your turn, Rarity.
Starlight noted, magicking the timer above the unicorn's head.
Rarity, I choose Twilight.
Wow, didn't even try to softball that one.
Wow!
Starlight commented in a gleeful manner, jotting down more notes.
I was going to let you anyway, Rarity.
Twilight muttered, stunned at how quickly the decision was made.
I'm not shocked. Stunned by that.
I want you to have to be brave for my sake, Twilight.
Rarity stuttered,
yeah, sure.
trying to clarify. By this point in the friendship test, the other ponies had stopped shouting their objections and useless comfort. Instead, there was only a dead silence, broken only by the
they're all
sounds
gonna get
of
branded.
pain. Twilight squeezed her eyes shut, and each of her friends turned their heads away when the branding iron made contact. Her screams of anguish brought a sick smile of satisfaction to Starlight Glimmer's face.
Alright,
Starlight
here we
hurried
go.
Rarity back into her place, eager to give the princess a turn. While Twilight was still
It's not
doubled
like
over
I'm not
in
trying to
pain,
sound
Starlight presented her with the branding iron.
like I don't care. It's just
Twilight.
it's best to skip
How
over the
about
crap.
Twilight stood her ground, tears pouring down her cheeks. She looked Starlight
Is she gonna
directly in the
choose
eyes,
herself?
not wanting to give the unicorn any satisfaction by her response.
Brand me again.
Yep, I knew
Twilight
it.
replied with a cold, unforgiving glare.
What? No! Twilight, that's not fair! You don't have to lose both!
Brand me again, Starlight!
Ah, I figured you would make that choice. I
Yeah.
am interested to know if this takes your special talent away, seeing how it's irreversible.
You can
But that
take it
doesn't
off too,
matter
you
to
know.
does it?
Oh, it's
You
in
just
a
have to
reversible?
be the strong and the kind one. Set an example.
Just do it!
Oh, Jesus.
Starlight didn't hesitate. She used her magic to violently ram the branding iron into the princess's other flank. She used so much force that Twilight skid helplessly along the ground as she did so.
This organization will not tolerate failure. Some of you I know, some of you I'm meeting for the first time. You've all been gathered here to form my evil cabinet. Excuse me. No, not that. Right.
Oh, hi. I'm very badly burned, so if you could just...
Right.
Twilight's screams turned into gargled sobs as her friends stared in terror. Starlight took the iron away after 5 seconds, as agreed, and contained Twilight to the magic circle again.
You're up, Rainbow Dash.
Ah, crap.
Starlight said smugly.
What does Rainbow Dash have to do?
Rainbow looked at Applejack with determination.
Besides burning
the timer
herself.
over her head was counting down.
Or Applejack.
While the branding iron was
Okay, I guess she does have a choice.
Rainbow wasn't going to stand idly by and let this madness continue.
Yep, she's gonna
A
try.
sporadic and desperate thought sparked into Rainbow's mind as she eyed Applejack. While their gaze was locked, Rainbow tried to convey a smile of reassurance despite the next words coming out of her mouth.
Yeah.
I choose to brand Applejack.
Rainbow stammered, pretending to have wrestled with the decision.
That's unexpected.
Starlight observed, writing down more notes.
Rainbow Dash
before
is gonna
pulling
hit
the
you with
iron
that,
from the
or brand
fire.
you.
Rainbow's
That'd be funny.
illuminated ring fizzled away, and without hesitation, she sprang from her place towards the pony that held them captive. She didn't need to jump very far to reach the unicorn, but was deflected away by an invisible shield Starlight used to
Well,
protect
Rainbow's
herself.
dead.
Suddenly, the spell containing
Frickin'
Applejack
OP
began
unicorn.
to glow. In a fraction of a second, an electrical shock zapped the Earth Pony with such a force that the room flashed with a blinding white light and a mighty cracking sound was heard.
Did you ponies really think that I wouldn't have thought ahead? What exactly do you take me for?
Starlight snapped
Goddamn,
bitterly,
lady, you need a hobby.
disappointed that her precious test had gone awry.
Applejack!
Rainbow screamed, falling over the charred body of her friend.
Oh, yeah, she's dead.
I was just trying to make it stop! Applejack! Applejack, please! No! No!
You still have to brand her, Rainbow Dash.
Oh, come on.
Close to Tartarus!
Now, you don't want the same thing happening to another one of your friends, do you?
Rainbow angrily swiped the iron from Starlight and pushed it into Applejack's flank. Not a single sound was heard, except the sizzling of flesh. Starlight retrieved the iron and pointed in the direction of Rainbow's original spot. Rainbow didn't need to be told twice. She too curled in place, faced away from her friends.
My. It seems you lucked out, Fluttershy. With Applejack gone, there's no pony left to make a choice. And since you've already had your turn, I suppose I can let you keep your marks. Ironic, isn't it? The element of kindness was in fact not kind at all to poor Pinkie Pie, but she remains unmarred by a brand. I'd say that was a failed test for kindness.
Starlight observed, jotting down the final notes of the kindness portion of the
psychopath.
test. Starlight lit her horn to douse the fire beneath the metal egg.
I understand revenge, but come on, this is going a little too far.
Corners of the room. Next, she magicked a simple dagger with an ornament handle.
Oh.
A thin but hard metal rod and placed them
Oh,
at
I do not like where this is going.
Since Rainbow Dash here took it upon herself to break the rules and rob us of our dear Applejack, I believe it's only fitting that we resume our test with the subject of loyalty.
Fuck you.
It's also about choices, though it will be
Friggin'
made
Rainbow.
quite clear that they are far more deadly than the last. Rainbow Dash, how far does your loyalty go for your friends? Will you take the dagger and stab Princess Twilight to the hilt? Or allow me to give you 3 swift lashes with this metal rod?
Rainbow remained silent as the timer above her head counted down.
5 seconds, Rainbow Dash.
Crap.
It's not very fitting to allow another friend to die just because you refuse to end.
Rainbow screamed.
Yeah,
startling Starlight with
actually,
the
yeah, it would
intensity
have
of
been a
her
good decision to go with the rod.
Starlight removed the magic encasing Rainbow Dash, and she pounced, though not at her, but instead to the remains of Applejack. Rainbow
what?
covered Applejack's body with her own, as if protecting her friend. Starlight lifted the metal rod with her magic and brought it down hard on Rainbow's back. Rainbow wailed into Applejack the instant the rod struck. It came down 2 more times, leaving the Pegasus with great bruises and lesions on her back that nearly missed her wings.
Now, Twilight, will you—
The rod.
What the fuck?
Twilight said, almost emotionless.
You didn't let me finish.
Starlight said with a smirk.
Twilight, will you stab Rarity to the hilt? Or give Rainbow Dash 3 more lashes?
Oh, come on.
Pinkie Pie in horror.
It's all a part of loyalty, Pinkie Pie. Where does Twilight's loyalty lie?
Starlight wondered out loud, locking her gaze
She's
on the
gonna try to
horrified
get Rainbow
princess.
Dash killed.
To my friends! All of my friends! I'd rather you take my life than subject me to this sick decision!
But that's just not how the test is performed. If you refuse to choose, I suppose there's a 1 in 5 chance that it'd be you that was killed. But I don't think the Princess of Friendship is willing to play the odds.
Starlight retorted. Twilight looked at Rainbow Dash.
Yeah, she's definitely planning on killing
sprawled
every
over
one of you.
Applejack, then Rarity.
A knife can do serious damage no matter where it is stabbed. It doesn't give me any real choice at all.
Twilight, no! You can't!
Starlight presented the rod to Twilight and stood back to give her ample space.
Just do it, Twi.
Just don't hit her too hard.
Twilight,
Oh, come
or it
on.
won't count.
Starlight said, keeping a
Just
close
hit
eye on
her.
the
Hit
princess's
Starlight
movement.
in the freaking face.
Twilight squeezed
Break her horn.
eyes shut
Something.
and brought the rod down hard on Rainbow's back.
Oh, like a string of firecrackers, my f***ing back! Oh, felt the soles of my feet touch the back of my head on that one!
Jesus.
A sickening snap was heard, and the Pegasus screamed in agony. When Twilight opened her eyes to see what had happened,
Broke her wing?
she noticed Rainbow's right wing now
Yep.
laid helpless down on her side, the bone clearly fractured.
Rainbow, I'm so sorry!
Twilight screamed, realizing her mistake. Rainbow just continued to sob.
2 more, Twilight.
You horrible.
Starlight reminded her. Twilight kept her eyes open for the remaining lashes, avoiding her wings as best as she could. Starlight nodded in approval, and the princess returned to her place. All eyes focused in on Rarity, as it was her turn to make a choice.
Don't say to hit.
Stab me, Rarity, please!
Ugh.
Pinkie demanded,
Jesus, Pinkie.
watching Rainbow struggle to breathe from the pain.
Now, Pinkie, this is Rarity's choice, not yours. Your time will come.
If I were to choose the blade, where would I have to stab Pinkie Pie?
Anywhere you like, though it must be to the hilt.
Starlight calmly said,
Rarity, don't! There are too many places that could kill her!
Oh, come now,
The hoof.
Twilight.
It should be
blade
fine.
isn't
Or in the
that
hair.
long.
Just saying.
There are plenty of places that would keep Pinkie Pie
Yeah.
alive.
Or the ear.
Starlight said, rolling her eyes.
Rainbow.
I know, Rarity. You have to do it.
No, Rarity, she can't take much more.
Rarity disregarded Pinkie's outcries and levitated the rod as her choice.
Oh, come on.
She would have kept her eyes closed, but she learned from Twilight's mistake not to do so. The rod came down hard 2 more times, and the Pegasus moaned softly with each new strike.
Now it is your turn, Pinkie Pie.
Starlight said, placing the 2 objects before her. Pinkie looked up at Fluttershy, who was shaking her head and pleading to be spared.
She'll die, Fluttershy. I have to do this.
Pinkie cried. She grasped the blade and took a shaky step in Fluttershy's direction.
Just
Fluttershy
stab her ear.
pleaded for Pinkie to reconsider, but Pinkie tuned out her cries, thinking
Or
only
her
of the
hoof,
pain she
somewhere
would be
like that.
sparing Rainbow Dash. The blade made contact with Fluttershy's back left leg.
Yeah.
And the Pegasus wailed in response.
That's what I thought.
Pinkie had been aiming for something closer to her hoof, but the combination of her blurred, teary-eyed vision and Fluttershy's reflective movements had landed the dagger closer to her flank. Pinkie noted the excess blood already pouring from the Pegasus's leg, but she knew the job wasn't complete. To the hilt, Starlight had said.
Oh,
Pinkie didn't
now I
want to
get
be
the hilt.
reminded. Fluttershy saw Pinkie approaching her again and tried to make an escape. Pinkie pounced, pinning the Pegasus to the ground and forcing the blade deeper into her friend's flesh.
This is definitely dark. Ugh.
You're lucky that Pinkie Pie had the sense to stop you, Fluttershy. Your impulses could have cost some pony her life.
Starlight pointed out.
Am I going to die?
Hey, probably.
Fluttershy panicked, covering the wound with her hooves as Starlight pried the dagger free. Once the blade was free, a spurt of blood followed, but the flow eased as Fluttershy applied pressure.
Hard to say, really. Only time will tell. Though I'm sure Rainbow Dash was grateful for the decision.
Starlight said, guiding a silent Pinkie Pie back to her place. Pinkie didn't
now it's
care
her.
to look
Now
up
it's
from the
Flutter's.
ground to see the damage she had done.
Now yours is an interesting choice, Fluttershy.
Eh?
You can whip Rainbow 3 more times, or stab any player of your choosing.
Fluttershy
Like
whimpered in
you?
pain and reached out for the metal rod.
Oh, come on.
Wait!
Stop me! Stop me! I can't.
Fluttershy said, wobbling on 3 hooves with the metal rod held by her wing.
This is not gonna end well.
Rainbow.
Think she might die.
Just can't stop some pony. I can't.
Rainbow made a soft gurgle sound in response. Fluttershy grunted and brought the rod down lightly on her friend.
That
Oh,
doesn't
come on.
count.
Please. Please don't make me do this.
You know the penalty, Fluttershy.
Starlight reminded. Fluttershy cried out in anger and came down hard with the metal rod. She swung to hit again, but missed and hit Applejack instead.
Ow.
Her vision blurred.
Oh, wait,
with
she's
tears
dead.
as she brought it down for 1/4 time, making contact with Rainbow's broken wing.
Ugh.
Every pony expected screams of anguish from Rainbow in response, but she remained silent.
Oh.
Rainbow.
One more, Fluttershy. Quickly now.
Fluttershy brought the rod down for a 5th time. And
5?
once again, Rainbow made no response.
Dashie!
Pinkie screamed Rainbow's name repeatedly, and Fluttershy dropped the rod in shock. Starlight leaned down to examine Rainbow, noting the severity of the lacerations and the discolored fur along
Well,
the
they're
back.
all more likely gonna die in the end.
Internal
That's my
bleeding
theory.
and possibly a damaged organ. I'm afraid our dear Rainbow Dash has left us.
Oh my god. They killed... You bastards! You bastards!
Proving that loyalty to your friends is indeed subjective. Not all friends are created equal for you ponies, are they?
Starlight said, feigning sorrow at Rainbow's death. Starlight
Alright, I'm gonna stop here. Jesus Christ, people can get dark. Here, I thought I had a dark imagination. Holy crap. But anyway, hope you guys still kind of sort of enjoyed the video despite it being pretty messed up. And have a nice day.
Who wants chowder?